Welcome to Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin Mclean.
Hello, welcome to Loud Poets! Oh, that is absolutely what I need on a Friday evening. Thank you so much for coming along. That is a way to dust off the nightmare that is the multi-year funding app. I got a shot of adrenaline. Thank you so much for coming along, guys. As the video said, my name is Kevin Mclean. I will... Thank you. One person. This week of all weeks, I needed a whoop. Appreciate it. I will be your host for this evening, and this evening is the Loud Poets Central Heat in the Loud Poets Slam series. Correct response. Give me a little cheer if you came to last year's Slam series. The judges, good. They know what the fuck they're talking about. That's encouraging. Give me a little cheer if you've never been to a slam before. You guys are like, we don't know, but we're enthusiastic. That's good to see. Enthusiasm, uninformed enthusiasm, is appreciated as much as informed. It's all good. Slams are a strange beast. They are competitive poetry, which is stupid, but a lot of fun. And that is what we are aiming to do. So last year and this year, and this is year 2 of our Loud Poet Slam series, where we hold heats all over the country. This is our Central Slam Heat. Also this year, we just did our East Slam Heat up at Stanza, Scotland's International Poetry Festival, which was a lot of fun. We had Donna Matthew win and C.D. Boyland run up, and they will both qualify for the Grand Slam final. So yeah, we're holding 6 heats: East, West, North, South. You see the pattern? This is Central, and we're also up in the Highlands. So 6 heats and a winner and runner-up from each heat, and all of them will in August take part in our Grand Slam final, which last year... Don't become a poetry crowd, panto crowd this early. I will milk you for all you are worth. Bex has panto in her soul. She can't resist. No one sneak up behind me. She'll have an aneurysm. But yes, so we held a big Grand Slam final at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. Almost 400 people came. It was streamed by like 150 other people on top of that, which made it like the biggest spoken word show in Scotland in maybe ever. I don't really know. I'm going to say ever, because who's going to check? Ever! And most importantly, this year and last year, the winner of the Grand Slam final will receive £3,000. Poetry audience is like, how? Because you have come and sold out here, and that helps a lot, because funding doesn't. I'm okay. It's all going to be fine. But yes, so that is the prize. And tonight, the winner will also receive a £200 prize for the regional heats. But money, who cares about money? Not poets, that's for fucking sure. The real prize, what's really on the line, is the winner gets to hold aloft the beauty that is the Loud Poet Slam Championship belt. Is she not majestic? No, I haven't hosted a 2-year-long nationwide slam series because I wanted to buy myself a wrestling belt. That'd be crazy. Maybe there's a reason we don't get funds. I promise we didn't spend any government money on that belt. Yes, so that is the prize, and this is the heat. So the 2 people will qualify, but how will we decide who the 2 people that qualify are? I hear you manically scream, or is that my own inner monologue? One person who is Bex's soulmate in the Panto connection. Good. Yes, what we are going to do, we have 11 wonderful poets on the side of the stage. They are all going to be competing to get through to the Grand Slam final. So in the first round, we will have all of them read. They all have 3 minutes at the mic to wow you, but more importantly, wow the judges. And they will be scored, and then we'll have 6 poets move on to the second round, and then we'll have 3 poets move on to the third round, and then 1 winner and 1 runner-up who will both go to the Grand Slam final. But who's judging? How will they be judged? Well, they will be judged on the quality of their writing and the quality of their performance, and the judging will be done by, well, in the first instance, none other than last year's Central Heat winner, the absolutely spectacular poet. Make some noise for Georgia Bartlett-McNeil! Georgia has been a stalwart of the scene for a long, long time. She has won slams. She's published her book. She's doing amazing things. She is an excellent judge for this evening. We are also joined by a Loud Poet judge, part of the team at I Am Loud. Make some noise for the spectacular Bex Bidgood! Bex just has killed Katie to get the spot. That's how it works. If you want to judge, you got to crowbar Katie out of the way. But yes, Bex is going to step into the breach. She's going to be our judge for this evening. And joining Georgia and Bex, well, we have a very special judge. Recently, we had the absolute pleasure of doing some work with a spectacular Tinderbox orchestra. Yes, woo. We did a big collaborative event with them where we sort of fused orchestral music and poetry into this insane, beautiful cake. It was spectacular. Cake, yes, that's what I'm going with because I'm a professional writer. But yes, and so they've been working with poets, musicians. They know what it takes. They are going to be our third judge. Please go wild for Claire Docherty! Those are our 3 judges, and we have all of our beautiful poets and me here to ramble their names into a microphone. That is how it's going to work. So I'm going to read down the list of the order in the first round, just so the poets remember. I told them before, but there's no way they stored that information in their heads. And then we are going to have our Sacrificial Poet, who for this evening, there's people who haven't been to a slams. I should explain that further. That requires more context than I'm giving it. It was a very casual way to be like, and then there'll be the poet that we murder, and that will be... No, our Sacrificial Poet is very hard. Slams are a really tricky beast. It's hard to get up. Some people might have done 1 million slams before. Some might not have ever taken part in a slam, and it's very scary. Kind of opening yourself to be judged, to have your art assigned a numerical score. It's a very weird thing to do. So we don't want to bring the first poet up to a kind of, well, you're a lovely room, but there's sometimes you come into a slam and it's like death stares from the audience. So we have a Sacrificial Poet who comes up to warm up the mic, to set the mood, to get the audience into the groove. And that is going to be one of our judges. That's going to be the wonderful Georgia Bartlett-McNeil. So, to remind the poets, we will do 1 clap for all of the poets at the end of the list. There's an element of doing this as a national slam series, touring around. This is the bit where you are judged. Some audiences can gather this concept and some cannot. And this is my home turf. I want you guys to be able to follow basic instructions. So, the poets performing in this order will be Akshay. Out. Drew Gill, Chloé Lamont, Hiata, John Laurie, Megan McCorkadale, B. McQueen, Charli Morachnick, Jeddah Pearl, Heather Rose, and James Stedman. I'm proud of you, Edinburgh. So that is the order they will go in for this first round. But to kick us off in sublime fashion, she is absolutely one of my favorite poets in the scene, has been for the last 10 years. Every time I see her perform, I am wowed by new material, old material, whatever it is she's got to give. She gives it with 100% passion, talent, conviction. She's incredible. Go wild. For Georgia Bartlett-McNeil!
Sup, lads? How we doing? That's correct. If I was allowed to physically fight the people behind me so they can't take my belt, I would. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to do that for reasons that have yet to be explained to me. Give me a whoop if you know what NaPoWriMo is. Okay, yeah, so I'm a crazy bitch and I do this shit every year. I'm about to commit what you might call a cardinal sin, right? Because normally you don't pitch up to a thing and be like, I wrote this on the way here, or I wrote this yesterday. But it pisses Kev off. Kev hates it because I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I'm so good at what I do. I rustle up with, I wrote this yesterday and it's so fucking good and he hates it. So this is my piece that I wrote for yesterday, day 18, inspired by a Paolo Nutini jam called Iron Sky. If you've not listened to it, some folk have listened to it. If you've not listened to it, give it a go. I tend to write quite deep stuff, and this is maybe not quite so heavy for me. You'll get that later. So I figured it'd be a nice neutral thing to start the lads off with. So this is Iron Sky. The sky was bright today. I wake, rise into the quiet of yet another seagull symphony. The joy of living close to the sea, but I wouldn't change that. Slink from bed to chair behind desk, rub the dreams from the corners of my eyes. I am half awake. These days, I feel like I am only ever half awake. The sky was bright today. Sun streamed in through the singular window at the front of the house, south-southeast, dripping down the walls. The hand of a lover on my back. A distraction. A temptress, a desire, a want. Need. The sky was bright today as I left the house. Bright as iron, spring cold as steel, a dagger in my chest as I exhale. My hair wet from the swim, eyes itching from the chemicals, brain not clocking out, clocking in copious amounts of overtime as it does. Rises over love and over hate through the iron sky of my skull. And the sun sets, red as rust, as blood she stains the sea with her hands as the birds quieten for another night that grows less long, but no less dark. And I settle. I settle into a semblance of settling. Sometimes I wonder if I am not just a mite too proud for my own good.
Georgia Bartlett-McNeil, everybody! Stellar stuff. You can see why she won last year and why she will be an excellent judge. But she is a judge. That's her job. She's got to worry about scores. You guys don't need to worry about judging. You don't need to worry about scoring. You guys, your job is to give all the love, all the support to all the poets. Are you up for that? Yeah. Are you ready for round one? Then please raise the roof and welcome to the stage your first poet. Go mad for action!
Thank you. I wrote this on my way here. The silence conundrum. Because let me tell you, I've always been really good at telling things apart. Telling things apart, easy. Play with mud, not with your food. Good grades are good, bad grades get you a beating, you get the gist. When I grew up a little, I could tell that my mother was nothing like my father because she was there. Some lessons are a little harder. You can tell that a boy is nothing like a man because a boy knows that he will grow up to be a man and a man knows that he never will. If you can cut open an apple with a knife, you can eat the apple, but not the knife. Knives are nothing like words. You can play with your words, but not with, well, an apple, because only assholes in movies play with apples. Telling things apart, easy. I could tell you, for instance, the difference between home and away because I set out to travel once and never found my bed again. I broke a few bones and then they mended. Then I fell in love. I looked longingly into their lips. I kissed their eyes. I wept against their heart and held their hair. You can't mistake any of it. Telling things apart is easy. In the years after love, which are nothing like the years before, I found the perfect song and then I lost it. The next time I found the perfect song, it was nothing like the first. And then I found the perfect moment and then I lost it. And I never found it again. But you don't need me to tell you that a moment is nothing like forever. Because I can't do this forever. Because poetry is nothing like life, no matter how bad you want it to be. Poetry forever is loud and obnoxious and shouting at you from the other room, while life, for a moment, sits beside you, not saying a word. Which brings me to my favorite conundrum. I have sat in her silence and that of life, and I see no difference. Thank you.
A phenomenal start. Let's keep that rolling as we welcome to the stage, Drew Gill!
Too young to know why I'd want to see Fred tied up like Daphne for once. Something squirmed in me to see him in binds, like that rubber band hog-tied figure of mine. In the same room, I hope to God no one knows I don't have an action man who stayed in his clothes. Too young for online with such lax restrictions. Some people draw Batman in the strangest positions. And study finds if what you search isn't drawn, it's likely been written, and I read till dawn. Too young to know what history was on a laptop, so all of that nonsense abruptly stopped. Too young to know all that was more than just sport. Too young to know the road ahead blocked off and mourned. Too young to know there's more than one thing called a beard. Hey, it's love. It's supposed to feel weird. Too young to know that boy you yearn to impress, that you call your best friends to his blatant distress, is more than an idol and best man in one. He's the first boy you like and a far from good one. But preferring to see how women fight battles in wrestling rings on TV apparently tattles on a want for girls turning suddenly steamy when all that I want is her sparkly bikini. Looking at the pom-poms and not the cheerleader, still thinking a wife comes and 3 children later because I'm not gay. That's a dark, vicious word thrown like stones at a zealot. That's not me, that's absurd. That is an alien race. I was born here on Earth. I am safe from the meaning, safe from the word. It takes many years, many tear-stained prayers before I can say it, and that's fucking unfair. I deserve to have posters to kiss on my wall, not a cosmic horror secret I had no words to call, so I'm proud I can look back and call my own lust. For that confused little fanboy, I will say it, I must. I wanted to fuck Power Rangers. Batman and Robin. I would have had that himbo Fred Jones fucking sobbing. That's, of course, if I knew what it was. It was innocent, really, no effect, just cause. So young me, I'm sorry for the night spent forlorn, though you should not have been watching so much. Yeah. You were young and curious, and naturally so, and you don't need a wife to have children, you know. You can have a whole family, and the husband you seek. And to keep up with us, he'll have to be a fucking freak. Thank you.
Good deal, everybody! Poetry slams are always walking that beautiful line between evening's entertainment and group therapy session. It's always spectacular, guys. We are going to introduce our next poet. Please raise the roof. Make that noise for Chloé Lamont!
Hello, everyone. So this is a little poem that I've written about trying to be a whore really badly. Sure, I give Sugar Baby a go. See, I have this curiosity for audacity, the luminosity of sweet dripping dichotomies, the generosity of sumptuosity, little atrocities, teasing monstrosity, away from any stranded virtuosity. Fuck monotony. And you'll give me how much money exactly? It seeps from the verbose back and forth, all right? How are you? To grandiose idiocies, only write to me if you're a 7 or higher, please. To sordid morose discourse of do you like being on your knees? I scroll through posts, to the adrenaline electrifying my beautiful broken bones, to the no man's land where my boundaries juxtapose and my fields of fucks decompose. It is gross. The screen is a radiant cesspit I babysit of awfully chivalrous culprits with stunning salacious aliases in and around my current radius. Elite lover, luxury mister, bum kisser, young fun breather, a vampire Edward, a gentleman, birdman, mystical king, Glasgow daddy, diamond, the fiend 69, all wanna meet me. And so I peruse the aisles, shopping for someone who I might let make a mess on aisle 5 for a considerable consolation prize. I pick luxury traveller, turned out to be a kidnapper. Man seeking spark offered to invest in my art if I sent him some pictures of my scars. The bear said he liked my flair and would gladly provide financial care if there were some pictures of my feet going spare. Hurt me plenty, said he's just mad for a ball busting and would love to give me considerable compensation for complete ball annihilation. A tad much. I don't want to yuck someone's yum, but there's just some things I don't want on my bum, so I land on John. A 36-year-old with a sturdy net worth of £40 million to dangle around, and he seemed quite sound. I finally arrive. John scrunched over his mobile device, probably scrolling for another ride to help him forget about his day-to-day life. I've scrubbed up real nice. He says I'm easy on the eyes. I says the same white lies. He's wearing a body warmer and skinny jeans. I internally scream. His leg brushes my knee whilst he leans back and creaks. You're just a wee rascal, aren't you? Well, yeah, I have been known to be, but the conditions and company just happen to be very important to me and are intrinsic upon just how meticulous and how uninhibited I can be. He offers me £1,000 to spend the night with me. I choke on my Wagyu beef. 1,000 to fuck me? Maybe. I mean, how hard could it be? It's the oldest profession in history. Just bend over and let this fella hang out the back of me? I've probably fucked worse for free. But all I can think about is this stunning ceiling. See, we're eating in a masterpiece because this man has money. He asks me again whether it's going to be a grand to fuck me. I says, fuck! Isn't that a cracking ceiling? He ignores me. He asks me to tell him more about my sexual persuasion, but it's to no avail. The art here is off the scale. It's obscene. I am serene in a dream. How can he say these obscene things to me whilst we're sitting next to a genuine Da Vinci? Look at those brush strokes. Isn't that a banging shade? Is that a topaz? And aren't the proportions just class? He asks if we can refocus on my ass. He winks at me. I have the audacity to ask him if he's seizing. Are you having a stroke or are you coming on to me? Then he offered me £200 to leave. I can't even get a man seeking a prostitute to fuck me.
Can't be the only person that's assuming the guy in that poem's a cabinet minister, right? Guys, we are off to a fantastic start. I'm so excited for our next poet. Please raise the roof, make the noise for Hyata!
Welcome to liver spots and travel passes, money off coupons, senior citizens classes, lines on my face like the underground. Oh, look, a new station has opened up now. Saga membership, bingo, wings, a nice mint humbug and moaning at Hings. See, I'm not letting the old lady in at any time now. You can stick your nice cardies and at our ages. Fuck off to Countdown and making nice pastries. I'm not going to make noises when I bend down. Or start wearing outfits in shades of brown. For this is a new chapter, a new part of life, and just a part of the jigsaw, the next jigsaw piece. From now on, I'll be swearing at teenagers and growling at babies. Having not to be nice and peeing in bushes. Doing the fandango with a whoop and a holler. Having my toast with 2 pats of butter. Sometimes I might eat flying saucers snatched from out the jar. Next time, if the fancy takes, it might be fine as caviar. Or go for a swim in a wild lagoon. Eat dollops of custard with a mighty big spoon. Dancing all night till my hips start to ache. 60 trips around the sun, mate, it's not too late. I'll be wearing my miniskirts. With my lips in shades of scarlet, looking to some like a bit of a harlot. You decide. Loving my life, my family and friends, reinventing myself, doing it all over again. Taking a lover. And eating rich foods. Sampling the sensual smorgasbord. For I'm grabbing my life and kissing its belly. Throwing those curtains wide and not going gentle into that good night. This is my new chapter. I'm not nearly done. 60 trips around the sun, mate. The adventure's just begun.
We've only done one other heat so far in this slam series, and it was nowhere near as horny. I don't know why the Central Slam is... hey, we'll go with it. Guys, Harden, your next poet, up to the mic. Make some noise. Show the love to the fantastic John Lonnie!
I want masses of asses. Because I like them thick like molasses. I want them trickling treacly. Give me a torrent bum cheekily. Bring it in through the front. That ass don't deserve to be displayed sneakily. See, I like them big ol' humps. Them Brazilian backstage passes. I want to see them clearer, quick. Where are my glasses? If they had a school for it, I'd take all the classes. I'd pass this in 3 weeks, ace the exam about bum cheeks, turn and teach it, be the professor to a semester of ass freaks, where every single room in the building has no seats. Just yoga balls. And squatting. Just do 100 each day, please. Ignoring your pecs, your ankles, your knees. If you want a dump truck, I'll give you the keys. I've come campaigning for more derrieres to be squeezed. I'll employ Megan Thee Stallion to raise a battalion. Or a crack team of cracks. We'll call them Rump Squadron. Their mission, a message to make you thicker than oatmeal. Never mind compliments, they'll scream that booty's a big deal. So I say, spread them on thick. Spread them on wide. Ride them up, bring them on, move them in rawhide. Have a lie on my back, smush me, I'll cry. Climb up a ladder, somersault inside. I'll change my name into James for the giantest of peaches. I will eat them on land, eat them on the beaches. I will journey to eat them in the farthest of reaches. A bountiful harvest for this farmer of sweet cheeks, a charmer in the sheets. And for my next trick, I would like to conjure your bum, please. I'm talking about both cheeks. Then like a rabbit in habits, I'll wear that ass like a hat. Like a bunny, my honey, I will be rampant on that giant planet-sized gat. Do not curse this as vulgar. This love should be praised. I beg of you, wear someone like a toupee. I say hooray for the humps, all that junk in your trunk. I think a bahooky's brilliant if it's a badonk-a-donk. Anyone who dares diss a booty, they're just bastard bum bashers. I say join me and scream, give us masses of asses.
John Moore, everybody. What the fuck is happening? Like, I imagine there's some people here who have brought someone to a poetry night and been like, hey, it'll be really sophisticated. It's poetry. I don't know what's worse now, if the next poet also does a sexy poem or doesn't. I don't know. Save us, Megan. Guys, please welcome to the stage your next poet. Make all the noise, give all the love, and welcome Megan McCorkindale!
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm just going to have to disappoint. It's not a sexy poem. It's not. So, maybe a wee bit of icebreaker. You never know. I wonder how the legends our folks told us measure up to the ones we hear down the corner shops. Tales of kings and battles, queens and rebels, how those characters match up to the ones in Billy's Friday night stories. If banshees and selkie, they keep community, like finding out whose cousin battered who or whose uncle's still in Berlin. But we get older. Those fairy tales, they gather dust. The dust gathers in our lungs while we're suffocating under another community loss. We all become these cats that someone's scrambling to keep in the bath. In the end, one of us will be bloody and the other will be free. So we get older. We trade those freezing cold nights in the middle of a field with a 10-deck of Mayfair. Mind when you could get 10 decks? A half bottle between 6 years to keep us warm for these warm nights in a pub. With the rich kids cosplaying poor down the road for the uni that we had to fight so hard just to get into. But then you meet those beautiful pals that lie somewhere between truth and myth. They remind you that you're not home anymore, or even in a place that fits, but you're not alone here either. Just on that border of out with. So you both meet up. You have those pints. They tell you stories. You ask them, why do your hands shake so much? They say it's because I accidentally smoked crack once. You both laugh. It's stories from New York City, a world away, one folktale or another. I guess my favourite one has always been about the homeless man with a gun that told them they were a John Lennon-looking motherfucker. You wait for the pints to pour. You remember your friends that aren't here anymore, that have become those scheme legends themselves, that you tell those friends in return, like about how you all used to get into the back of the ice cream van when you're young. I know. The van that did us twice a day round for bread and milk and cigarettes, as long as you had a note for your gran. But sometimes you remember the violence and the chaos that burns the edges of these photographed memories. You remember that they are like a dying lighter. With each shake and each clip, this flame, it grows smaller and smaller until it ceased. So all we're left with the hope is that our legends, like lighters, even in our absence, are still going to be passed around at parties. Thank you.
Megan McCorkindale! That is exactly why I love slams. You go from every subject, every style of poetry, you get it all condensed into one like rapid fire evening. It's fucking phenomenal. You guys having fun? Yeah! Well then, let's keep that ship rolling with another poet. Please welcome to the stage, B. McQueen!
Hi. This is called Ode to the Poet, and it's not a sex poem. The shame of being a... The shame of being a poet. Spot those of us who know it with 6 letters across our social handles. Writer. Poet just sounds significantly shiter. Audiences coat lips and liquor concoctions, 1 part curiosity, 2 parts tolerance for the absolute nonsense they expect to hear from hipster poets, sorry, writers, and wannabe Shakespeares. Plaster over our suffering with fancy metaphors and colouring, cover our personal horrors with sentiments of self-acceptance. An ironic aesthetic, we know it, but there's nothing poetic about being a poet. Blood-stained hands drip with pain. We rip ourselves apart for your entertainment, serve ourselves on a platter and invite you to feast on the flesh of our trauma and call it a treat. We work in your bars and coffee shops, armed with pens for scattered thoughts, mastered the art of, oh, that's a cracker. 4 shots, please. Oh, you bastard. There is nothing more frustrating than waving goodbye, watching your idea grow wings and fly. Hi, can I have a latte with a shot of wasted potential? Yeah, dreadful. Poets, the outcasts of the creative path, shapeshifters, gatecrashers, we fit through the cracks. Not strangers to the wrath of other makers, actors and artists who look and see danger. So we often leave the stage, as I will today, with a bouquet of brushes madly tossed my way by cross-painters who hate us for speaking their pictures. We're proud to be poets, despite our strictures. Thank you.
Mclean, everybody! Keep that noise building. Keep that applause rolling as we welcome to the stage the fantastic Charli Morachnick!
A lover once told me I have a nice profile. And this compliment really stuck with me because he literally meant the shape of my face as I lay horizontally. But naturally, what comes to mind is the realm online, where I sign on to craft my ideal perception of me, log off when I feel the bubbling of anxiety. Actually, that's a falsity. I'll just keep on clicking till someone tells me I'm pretty, validates my witty with a retweet, praise for my conceit, and TikTok's a real treat because we're all just famous now. Plow through this content like we're harvesting our nourishment, but in the terms and conditions, did we consent to this mental poison, this never-ending noise? On Instagram, I read that Facebook found that Instagram is detrimental to our mental health. Is it mental that I just kept scrolling? Should I have closed the app and gone bowling? I mean, I'm just rolling down this endless feed. Feed me likes and feed me comments. Take big global issues and condense them into a single infographic that severely oversimplifies the issue but appeals to my short attention span. And am I meant to engage outside my echo chamber, or is that just where I go to release all this anger? Could silence the ringer on this toxic relationship. But it's got its grip, and I've got mine. Serotonin boost from the Tinder match chime, iPod, iPhone, iTouch, but we don't and never will, because I'm here for the thrills, all frills, and if an Apple product a day keeps the doctor away, catch me consuming like it's my entree, but I stay hungry. I locked my phone and caught my reflection on the blank screen, and it did dawn on me. The black mirrors in my pocket caught a glimpse of my profile without a single pixel, my physical profile smooth against the glass, and I remembered that a lover once told me I have a nice profile. And this compliment really stuck with me for its oozing humanity, conversational spontaneity that hits different verbally, and the giggle that did come out of me that could never compute digitally.
Everybody! Guys, we are going to welcome our next poet. Please build up that noise once again. Make all the noise. Raise the roof for the wonderful Jenna Paul!
Good evening. Let's do this.
What is this race? To colonise every inch o' place, to continue to make a case that to discover a new race or species that was there all along, minding their ain, isn't a disgraceful mindset? When doon here on earth, we're aye half a millennium later, trying to repair our ancestors' mistakes. What is this rush to fling ourselves into the cosmic dust when we have nae way of warning our alien friends to brace themselves for us? As if it's our God-given right to taste what is out there, to terraform these exoplanets into a shape we can recognise. This hypnotic curiosity call, it loops around your waist like a 1960s plasma ray. Then, as we land on alien soil with the brown jaw earth under our white boots, the black voids of our pupils dilate, and we choose to forget what is no ours. How to behave as an unbidden, disease-ridden guest. Some will say we're just here to observe, while making attempts at categorisation when their way of reproduction is so unlike our own, we cannae fathom the parent-bairn connection. Or their way of consumption, absorbing each other, doesn't compute. Are they cannibalistic, inferior, savage, unintelligent? Aye, we haven't the tongue to hope to describe their alien customs, behaviours, bodily functions, environmental interactions. Who are we to make those judgments? Oh, we are ripe for misunderstanding, misconstruing, accidentally decimating. But we are ripe for happening winner, acceptance, friendship, interspecies dating, loving all their permutations. What is this quest? To airt out the theory of all thing, as we choose to see it. How can a true intergalactic species interaction scale when we think we ken all there is to ken? This relentless need to explain away the unexplainable. We now particles left to their own devices to choose what life is. Didn't get me wrong. I want to learn what the universe has, to discover the strange and the new like you, like most of us do. I want it in my lifetime to taste a utopian dream, a harmonic populace. Meet other beings with that we can exchange, win sort of inkling. And ken all that we must glim on the daily. We are no alone. In one hand, a hud coal, in the other, gallons of souls. And I'm telling you, we need to tread light with your curiosity when it's really the drive to airt out the way back to the essence of life that we think we've misplaced.
We have reached the penultimate poet in the first round, so please put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Heather Rowe!
Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. It seems every time I try, cutting onions cry, oiled the pan and fried, plated please the eye, I seem to only find that when I slice inside, it never turns out right. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Some don't have that drive. Microwaves maintain, survive. 4-minute meals keep them alive. The knives and pots and pans and woks they stock. The cupboards, idle last they were thrust, a graveyard of my giving up, mummified, collecting dust, unsatisfied, I say I must not forget the taste, or let those years I cooked for you decompose food waste. But maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Despite that chefing history, there's no mystery, no stove injury, that's blistery, it's just me, too picky. Each time I put my cooking hand in, there are no customers demanding, sous chef pandering, bills outstanding, servers floundering in my kitchen, they're all missing. It's me who's messing with my meals.
Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Maybe I was made for late night orders. Quickly eat, don't need to talk, or stock our fridges as veg hoarders, dance the meal/snack food border, and wonder if I no longer seek sustenance, for I trust in this obvious insatiability. But I am human, and I need to eat. And I thought I could survive on little sweet treats, and chocolate is nice on that rarer occurrence, but the rate I'm having it is hurting my stomach, and crisps are not as filling as a whole roast meal is, but crisps won't ask you what our deal is. Crisps won't catch feelings. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook, because the taste is so faint in my memory. Do you remember we were cooking melodies you cannot write in recipes? I cannot compare snacks to symphonies. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Maybe I was meant for ready meals from the store, or maybe I'm not a bad chef, but I just wasn't your one. And that's a harder bite to swallow, but my hunger can no longer wait until tomorrow. I have so many meals that I want to share. Culinary skills can be cooked and repaired, taste buds all differing to recipes prepared. I cleared my cupboards completely bare. No dust or crumbs can trace you there. I'm a bad chef, sure, and yet I care with such edible imagination. I incite nonsensical love, starvation. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook for you, but I'm turning on my heat. New recipe book in my hand, and I am ready to eat.
We have reached the final poet of the first round. Please put your hands together. Go absolutely mental for the spectacular James Stedman!
Hello. Hi. I love to travel by train. I think it's one of the best things you can do, but sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. And last summer, I was going back for my nephew's wedding down to Somerset, and there were delays and various things. I ended up spending a night in Sheffield, which is not in itself a bad thing. It just wasn't on the itinerary. So when I got back on the train, I wasn't full of the milk of human kindness as such. And this is the train trolley man. Hotty, drinky, coldy, drinky, little snack or sandwich. I'm a cunt. The jolly man sings this jolly song down the whole jolly length of the jolly fucking train, and I rage. Equally infantilized and gerontalized in this steel-railed palliative care home where dreams come to die. Hotty, drinky, coldy, drinky, little snack or sandwich. The perky tones splosh thickly through the soft mush of my travel-addled mind. I hope that his life is empty. I hope that his soul is sad. I hope that this song is a wet tissue paper coating on a profoundly tragic existence. Hotty, drinky, coldy, drinky. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I want chocolate. But hell if I'm going to buy it from him. I want the pleasant, soporific exchange of two British people just doing their job. Him selling me sugar, me paying through the nose and thanking him for the privilege. No joy, no banter, a purely practical encounter. No song. Hotty, drinky, coldy. Why don't you just fucking die already? Hotty, drinky. Ha. I smile. Could I just get a bar of dairy milk? Oh, and some hummus crisps, please. Dairy milk and humorous crisps, ha. Ha. That'll be £2.80, please. Ha ha. That's lovely. Ha ha. Thank you. Ha ha. Thank you. Ha ha. My eyes return to the passing blackness of our green and pleasant land. Hotty, drinky, coldy, drinky, little snack or sandwich. and I long for the void to swallow me.
You all right, James? It's the fact that he opens that intro with, I like traveling on a train. Incredible stuff. Guys, what a first round. Can we get a big round of applause for all our first round slammers? And it's times like this I'm happy my job is to scream names into a microphone and not assign numerical values to art. Sorry, judges. Of course, the judges are open to bribery if you want to buy them a drink, anything like that. I'm sure it'll stand in your favor. Hey, that goes for you in the audience too. You could win this. Buy 3 of her books. That's a perfect run. No, we are going to go into an interval to let us kind of tot up the scores because we're poets and that usually means not great at math. So we are going to be adding up some scores. When we come back, we will find out which of the 6 poets are through to the second round. But can we just one more time get a big round of applause for all of our first round slammers? Enough! All right. It's a long slam to go. Save it. Guys, we're gonna jump into the interval, and we're gonna have about 20 minutes. Go get a drink, go have a cigarette, go tell a poet you like their stuff, all that wonderful stuff. Buy George's books, and we will see you back here in about 20 minutes. Have fun!
Welcome back to the second half of Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin Mclean.
Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Loud Poets! Oh, did everyone get a beverage? Did everyone buy one of George's books? Poets, fucking damn right I did. Good. Yes, welcome back to the second half. Lovely to see you all here. Imagine you'd all left. It would break me spiritually. No, good, you stayed. Wonderful. We have so much more to come. But first things first, we should announce the 6 poets that are through to the second half. So, actually, before we do that, I thought I would just, torture the poets for a little bit, as is my wont to do. This is one of the few pleasures in life that I can do this, and I can do this joke over and over again. Watch. So it's time to read out the 6 poets that are through to the second round. If you are interested in seeing more spoken word poetry where you are, no, I'll do plugs and stuff later, because the poets are on the stage. A lot of the heats, they're in the front row and I have a level of separation, but they could flank me at this point. So I will just announce who is through. So they are going to be reading in reverse order to the word in the first round. You guys are like, we don't care, just shout names. So I will read them out in the order that they will be coming to the mic, all right? And we are going to do one big clap at the end of the list. That person that fucked it up first time has been removed. So I expect a flawless silence. Great hosting, Kev. Make sure they're good at being silent. Cool. In this order, in the second round, we will have James Steadman. I don't blame you, James. We'll have James Steadman, Heather Rose, Megan McCorkadale, Hiarta, Drew Gill, and Akshay! Some Akshay fans in the house. Yes, no, that is our 6 poets. The judges, I spoke to Bex, the head judge, at the interval. It is fractions of points between who goes through and who doesn't. There's a reason we don't read out the scores, because the scores are incredibly close. The scores aren't really what counts. Everyone does amazing. If you read the same poems in a different order, if you had slightly different judges, all those tiny little variations can be the difference between getting through to the second round and not. It is not a reflection on your value as a poet. I think everyone agrees that was an incredible first round. Yeah. If I had read out the other 6 names, everyone would have went, yep, that makes sense. So it's by no means a reflection on anyone. That was an absolutely stellar first round, and I know everyone that isn't in the second round would smash the second round if they were. So please, please, please do not take it as a judgment. These slams are meant to be a fun chance to read your poems to a big room full of people who are drawn in by the illusion of competition, the blood sport of poetry, and a chance for you to see other poets, to hear other styles, to get to meet new folk in the scene. And I hope that is what the poets take away from it. But can we just get one huge round of applause for all of our first round slammers? And as now there are like 6 poets going, I didn't think I was going to get through. I have no idea what to read at the side of the stage. What we're going to do is give them a little second to catch their breath. And we're going to invite back to the stage our spectacular sacrificial poet, the one, the only, Georgia Bartlett-McNeil.
Cracking first half that, weren't it, lads? So I don't know if I've mentioned, I've got books upstairs. So I read you something new earlier, partly because I couldn't figure out what the fuck I wanted to read. Bex helped me choose this one because I still couldn't figure out what the fuck I wanted to read. So I thought I'd give you a wee taster from my lovely wee book. And this poem is called Oranges and Papayas, and it's about how PCOS sucks. A shave in the bathroom at Shakespeare's. All terrible lighting and unsteady hands, smeared mirrors, and oh shit, I just set off the hand dryer with my handbag. $2.99 dermaplaners from Superdrug, 1 pink, 1 green, 1 blue. I picked the latter out of habit. Good warriors know their weapons intimately, inside out. The best also know their enemies like they know themselves. So how does that work when, in this moment, I am my own enemy? Call myself kinslayer as I reject my body's latest gifts to me. I am a 10 out of 10, 1 of the 1 in 10. I have polycystic ovary syndrome. Typically, I present with a twisted variation because why would anything about any of me be normal? When I went for the ultrasound at 23, the nurse proclaimed, "Well, that's unusual." Because that's exactly what you want to hear when you've got cool gel smeared all over your belly. When I turn to ask her the what's and why, she says, well, 1 ovary is normal, like an orange. The other is more like a papaya. Brilliant! My body can't even do wrong properly. I've long made peace with irregular periods, the fact that I may struggle to conceive naturally, if at all, the all-too-easy weight gain and hard-fought weight loss, my face becoming potholed with acne long after puberty, the excessive hair on my legs and my stomach, and fucking everywhere else. I was already being laughed at for being too much woman at 10 years old when my armpits started sprouting thick garlands I could have made daisy chains out of, if I wanted. Too much woman far too soon. A truth that still rings true. I have never been the most feminine person I know, but my body's attempts to grow a beard, for me, that's the hardest hard no. So I'm 28 years old and I'm trying laser therapy for the first time. I've followed the instructions to the letter, worn plenty of sunscreen, shaved the area the night before, resisted the inherent urge to pluck at my chin with tweezers like I've watched my mother and her mother do countless times before for years. Called it a rite of passage when I first started, now for too long, a necessity. I get to the clinic on time, only to be told I'm 10 minutes late. So I panic a bit, And the lady takes me into the back room, takes one look up and down my neck, tells me the hair is too long for us to do this right now. Something inside me breaks. I couldn't tell you what it was. The lady is kind. Tells me to go and shave, to come back at 4 p.m. and we'll try again. So I shave in the bathroom at Shakespeare's. All terrible lighting and unsteady hands, nick the skin, see the blood on the razor and wonder where it could have come from. Like it could belong to anyone other than me. So shit at connecting the dots sometimes. And as I dab away at my neck with toilet tissue like a prepubescent boy, my blood turns it into a creased and cloudy sky strewn with red stars. Constellations full not only of my histories, but also of the journeys to come. I look at myself in the mirror, both my enemy and my greatest champion. I shrug my shoulders and sigh. I don't pick sides. Instead, I acknowledge that it is possible to be both at the same time. Thank you.
Georgia Bartlett-McNeil, everybody! Whoa, spellbinding stuff. I have read Georgia's book. It is beautiful, filled with incredible work. You would do yourself a massive favour by picking up a copy. She's absolutely a light in this scene. So please do help support the work that she does. But for now, back to the judging, Georgia. Yes, we are about to jump into our second round. Just so the poets are ready. James, Heather, Megan, Hjarta, Drew, Akshay. That's going to be the round we're going in. The judges are fucking pumped. I can make fun of the judges. They ain't scoring me. Guys, are you... Yeah, personally, sure. But it doesn't equate to anything other than me being sad. And joke's on you. I'm already sad. Who's ready for the second round? Good, well, let's get this shit going, please. Help me welcome back to the stage the spectacular James Stedman.
Excise on living. There's a kid at the back in a coma. His mum sits curled, awkwardly, frantically in the chair beside him, beside herself, reading to herself, to him, begging him to wake up, to laugh, to talk in his precocious little way, to say, "Did you know that this and that?" Regale her with precious facts that fascinate a 5-year-old, told as if they were minted new right here. She reads George's Marvellous Medicine, hoping for a medicinal marvel, a miracle herself, as the doctor says he might not wake up. He genuinely can't sweat, you see, so all that boundless energy, all that wonder, all that knowledge beats and beats inside his chest, inside his head, with no way of release. And so he overheats, accidentally fries his little mind, a tiny tot on gas mark 9, until his brain just finds the off switch for a while and lets him lie and smile with all he knows. Although he doesn't know how much he doesn't know, still. Doesn't know how far down the list he is. He's just a kid. The list that says who lives, who dies, who it is has worth to survive. Doesn't know how lucky he is today. Doesn't know why his dad works 7 days a week, why his mum has 2 jobs just so they can live and eat. Doesn't know that this hospital is free, on principle, at the point of delivery. Doesn't know what they would do if this visit had a price. Doesn't know that there are folks in power demanding we have a hard-headed, grown-up conversation about this nation's national health, a service like any other, they say, for which we have to learn to pay. Rosy-cheeked folks with inherited wealth, blossoming, beaming with generational health. Earning 3 times as much as your average Joe, knowing they could always cover the cost. How could anyone not? Just pocket change for our chums in the industry. Believing the holy lie of great British meritocracy. Because if you say some folks merit living like kings, the quiet part is some folks have earned other things. Some folks deserve to suffer and die. That's something even our kid in the coma knows isn't true. So between me and you, be mindful next time you go to vote to make sure that the next kid at the back in a coma can afford to wake up like I did. Thank you.
There's like a sort of tradition in hosting, especially at poetry gigs, kind of peek behind the curtain for you, about resetting momentum, right? About so the audience are in a specific place. And Gally, who hosts her open mic, likes to do a deep breath after some poems to kind of get the audience back in the same place. But I'm a bit more of a militant socialist than Gally is. So how about instead of a deep breath, we do a big fuck the Tories, all right? 1, 2, 3. Don't you just feel better? Guys, our next poet is making their way to the stage. Please go fucking wild for Heather Rowe!
Leggings! You really do my head in. You have my body begging to be freed from your besetting bounds. People argue your simplicity is profound, but I profound you to be unsuitable for my dancing needs. Indisputable, you do not listen to me, bashing my blooming fashion seeds. Leggings equal patriarchy. Constricting but, quote, uplifting to the royal rears that suit this tightness. Cozy all day long, smile through their thongs. Oh, after you, your highness. You blend me into this comfortable world, but want me to not be like other girls. And when you make me look good, I am not to dance cocky. Whatever happened to chilling in joggies? Though the shape they give are a bit of a blessing. Fucking leggings. Come on, let's get this music blaring. I haven't worn you since I was 11. My body a different thing back then. Is my body just a thing again? Well, now I'm dancing so confused. When my butt just looks this good. Onlookers cannot believe their eyes. Such a small lady and such a surprise. Squats are shit, but this is the prize. Invasive hands with fabric disguise. Laced with lovely longing lies. For leggings I wore you the first time I was ever sexualized. So, of course, I feel you're laced with lovely longing lies, invasive hands in a fabric disguise. Squats are shit, but this is the prize. Such a small lady and such a surprise because I was 11. Leggings. Is my body just a thing again? Was her body just a thing when her leggings were jeans or flares? Hers a new haircut or a low-cut, V-cut, scoop-cut top, flattering costume in the school play, but she'd become the prop. Everyone had their own leggings, but leggings never stop. Mini skirt, pencil skirt, she becomes a utensil skirt, sweetheart, neckline. There is a fine line between sweet hearts and his sweetheart. Poison, wine, why is value only placed when we're a wife, sister, or daughter? You could have taught her to wear bin bags, to wear glam rags, to wear nothing. For clothing is obsolete when it's our bodies that are the things. Leggings. You really do my head in. But our bodies are only begging to be freed from the besetting bounds that were beset by boys and hounds that will howl from 11 to whatever heaven they put the dogs in. So now I'm dancing not confused. I know my butt just looks this good. I did not need you to tell me, dude. Let's get crop tops on the dance floor. School show props on the dance floor. No fits a flop on the dance floor. And you better not kill the groove. That's a demand. I am not begging. And of my own sexy accord, I'll be wearing my leggings.
applause rolling. Keep that noise building as we welcome back to the stage, Megan McCarkadale.
Probably going to preface this one where there's a bit in it that's very referenced to Glasgow and not Edinburgh, because I love Edinburgh's transport. So. Drink a beer, close your eyes, remember that this time is yours. Until tomorrow, it's your 6th day of work in a row. Oh, slow your breath, unclench your jaw, let your shoulders drop. Feel silence and don't be scared by it. Until you do feel it, rising out of spite or anxiety, it growls like the bear in your belly. You feel the chaos pumping in your veins that trickles the fear down your spine that makes your hands shake. Because there's something about the noise the check machine makes when all the chefs are out the back smoking and your drink slinging between punters complaining. Music so loud you haven't heard your own voice out loud for hours. Jesus Christ, when is it going to be after hours? But eventually it is. Your shift's finished, the cuts on your hands sting, but there's something about that pain swimming in the whiskies that you had for staffies, few and far between taxis, night transport non-existent. Say it with me, capitalism and privatisation, fuck you. So you walk. Your period started half an hour before your shift finished. Your ears prick for some prick that's walking way too close behind you. You cross the street under a lamppost, your eyes meet. He keeps walking, so do you. You eventually drag yourself home, barely able to get yourself over the doormat, but somehow the click of the kitchen light, it pings you back to life. Your phone pings. It's him. The guy you're trying not to date. But eventually you're going to have to admit that it's just the same mistake. He's just a rerun of your favourite comfort show that's somewhere existing in the background. He's not even an inhale, not even an exhale. God, he's barely even a breath, a sigh maybe. Drink a beer, close your eyes. Remember that this time is yours. Until it's not. Until it's your 7th day working in a row for fucking minimum wage. Whoa. Slow your breath, unclench your jaw, let your shoulders drop. Feel silence and don't be scared by it. Thank you.
Thank you for talking to everybody. It's telling that the one person advocating for Edinburgh's transport system lives in Glasgow. Guys, our next poet up. You saw them in the first half. You loved them then. You're going to go wild for them again. Please make all the noise for Hiarta!
Yo. Sweet autumn, melty golden glow of damson. It came to me the other day. That buttery softness of purple hues, sitting on a base of batter-like cake, topping of pops of yellow streusel, scorched sides soon to be stolen, bubbling insides dripping with honeyish lakes, burst forth their captor of square baking tin. And oh, that smell of late September, those plump, dusky scarlets just on the turn. Comforting, nourishing, oozing lip-smacking stickiness. In the 70s kitchen with a cheap Formica, you placed it still magma hot as time ticked so slowly till my silvery spoon held aloft was given the nod and sank into that pot of sweet, tangy goodness, explosion of sensory heaven, succulent eyes of sugar-sweetened amber, nurturing, warming. That's how you showed love. Not through motherly hugs that smothered and squashed, not through words of comfort so tender and soft, not through protection or notes of interest in our lives. You rendered us useless. But these familiar recipes of Eastern Europe hark back to the motherland, creations of cabbage, rolled, boiled, baked, sauerkrauted. In the Rawson market, from Breslau to Bradford. How were you a mother? Through schnitzel coated in pats of butter, sizzling with huge pats of butter, smells of homeland with your memories fading, kartoffeln steaming, cabbage of red, slippery, shiny hues, dark blood reds, promises of Christmas holidays, dusty white stollen that only known to us, meltingly soft with marzipan blonde, we scoffed and stuffed our bellies with these substitutes for maternal love. Filling the void of physical need with guts creaking with carbohydrates. And for a moment, we were satiated, comforted, and appreciated. We took, we ate, we relished, we said, thank you. We lapped up every heated crumb, those tastes from countries never visited yet, the smells you remembered and couldn't forget, but conjured up a sense of home, the way you loved us through the pot and pan. Thank you.
Loud Poets, making you hungry and horny since 2014. We have reached our penultimate poet in the second round. Please put your hands together. Give all your love. Welcome back to the stage, Drew Gale.
I thought I'd picture you kindly tonight. I thought I'd peer through your occasional glass and pull your eyes back to the gentle blur that might once have complimented me. But every time I go to stroke the sweet golden curl I remember twining in my fingers, it turns straight in my hand, and miles too long and frankly baked in something animal. It's getting harder to imagine the man I loved, for better or for worse. Sorry, that was your line. The gentler you, the softer you, who stopped existing sometime since we last spoke, thought of me for a fraction of a moment as he said it to her. And in that moment, he imagined some world similar to the one I built, where we returned to dancing color and gentle summer sun and built a house on a perfect hill, where we lived, where we struggled, where we got to see just how bright the east could burn and just how much dark the stars could kill on western nights. Sometimes it's even enough. Either way, I wish we had seen it instead of what lies now. Half a wooden foundation and no visible sun, but never quite darkness. Never quite the end. The you I hold close to my soul beneath my ribs never saw the end either. He waited like I waited. Sometimes he wished I waited longer. Sometimes he wished I spoke out. Sometimes he did all the work and came back on his own. That one's my favorite. He was a million different men that I knew to their core, and you are just a stranger. I don't recognize the gaunt sneer that used to be my favorite turn of upward lip. Forgive my repetition, but I don't understand trading the gold in your scalp for a limp set of strands only fit to be under a mask that Velma would remove. When did the love of my life become a spooky groundskeeper? Some questions you never think you'll ask. And above all, I really can't believe that none of those men were real. That they would always have become you, that you are you and not what I made you, that you really could just stop loving me like that. Or never have loved me at all and then turn around and love her forever. I think about all the things that man said, and now that he's you, I don't know what's true. I don't know who you were. I don't know who could claim to love you and still not tell you to cut your hair. My God. I simply don't know you. And I suppose you don't know me. Or you would have looked sad when I pretended to look away.
Are you guys ready for the final poet in the second round? Then make some fucking noise for Akshay!
To the woman that I might one day fall in love with, I am sorry. I don't think you know me. We might not have met yet, but by the time we do, I'll be so done with love that I probably wouldn't notice you if you walked over my eyelids and made me blink every time your heels clicked. I know, you'll be more of a sneakerhead, but you'd wear heels if it meant it would make my rhyme stick, and I love that about you. I promise you, your first impression of me will be your worst. You'll hate how I'm full of myself. I'm always keeping your glass half full of myself. And when you drink me, it'll burn like whiskey never did. And when you start getting tipsy, you'll hate how I make fun of you for acting like a kid. You'll hate how I pick my nose and pretend like I was rubbing an itch, or how I accidentally rub my hand against yours and pretend like I was rubbing an itch. You'll hate to realize I'm more than what you expected, more than my hair and my beard, more than my smiles and my tears, or the spectacles that I wear, because I'm technically blind to other people's feelings. And yet I'm just like every other guy you've met. Every other guy who told you they loved you but forgot. Every other guy who's cheated on you or you've done with a history that I'd rather not share. You'll hate how it's unfair that I put handcuffs on my pain, bind my nightmares in straitjackets, and lock my past away in a wooden box buried 6 feet beneath the earth. But don't worry. They'll eventually go Harry Houdini and escape sensationally, because no matter how hard I try, I just can't help but open up to the ones I love. So to the woman that I might one day fall in love with, I'm sorry, but you'll eventually realize I was in love once before. Way before our paths crossed, I was stuck on a trajectory that was taking me straight to her. Like a trailer truck, hauling everything I ever owned on a highway with no exits, the rain pouring, it was all my fault. Losing traction on the wet asphalt, slowly slipping away from her until she wasn't there anymore. And I lost my way like a kid in the dark, with no bedsheet to hide beneath and no flashlight to find her once more, or myself. The first time I take you home to meet my mom, you might be my favorite guest, but she was home. So when I call you beautiful, know that you are the prettiest flower to ever bloom in my garden, but I built this garden for her. When I tell you that your smile is the best this world has to offer, know that her smile was out of this world. It was magic, no, science fiction. It was like watching Inception. You had no idea what was going on. All you knew is that you had to see it again. And again, and again, till you figured it out, and I never could. And when I tell you that I love you, with every breath that I take, know that she filled my lungs out. I used to hold my breath hoping she would never leave. And the blood cells that carried her to every inch of my body engraved her name onto the back walls of my veins. So when I bleed, no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to fix me. Your kisses won't heal my wounds. Your words won't ease my pain. Your eyes won't see that she was my only cure. So to the woman that I might one day fall in love with, I'm sorry, I love you. But when night falls, when darkness calls, I'll go back to being that kid who's still searching for what he once lost.
Akshay! To the woman Akshay falls in love with, I'm sorry, because I'm going to fucking take him from you. Yeah, I said it. Don't run from it, Bex. Wait, Bex, take this. And give it to Akshay. The heart wants what it wants. Guys, can we get a big round of applause for all of our second round slammers? Fucking hell. That was a bit good. Sorry, Claire. I messaged Claire. I was like, you should be a judge. She went, that sounds like fun. And I didn't correct her. I knew it would be like this. I can only apologize. Yeah. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But yes, that is the second round. Bex is a way to tot up the scores. And I just wanted to mention, some people are kind of, slam is a great tool for bringing people into poetry who might not otherwise go to a poetry night. That's why we do these slams. It's not to judge poetry. It's to try and pull new people in who can see this lineup and go, holy fuck. and that draws them in to come to maybe another poetry show. So if you are looking for more spoken word, if you have seen this and are like, more please, then please do come along to more live poet shows. Go to Push the Boat Out and their open mic, Rock the Boat. Go and check out Lost in Leith down in Leith. Go and check out a bunch of amazing poetry shows that are going on all over Scotland. And if you are looking for where they are, if you're like, I don't know where my closest poetry show is, I'm like Megan, I'm from Glasgow. Well, then you can come and talk to us and we will point you in the right direction. There is a spoken word show near you, and Scotland has an incredible array of talent. Regularly, Scotland ranks in the top, 4 or 5 in the world at World Slam Championships. We have won the World Slam Championship before. Sam Small runs in Deep in Glasgow every week. He's doing an open mic with incredible voices. We are running these slams all across the country, and we're going to be putting them all out online. So if you want to see how the East Heat went, that's going to be up online soon. If you want to watch this back, you're going to be able to. And if you want to follow along and see the rest of the slams and who's going to compete, we would love for you to do that. You can jump onto our YouTube channel. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos over the years. A lot of poets, like Georgia, have books, and that's wonderful. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people, their aim isn't to publish, or they haven't published yet, and their work is ephemeral. It exists in the moments that you are here to watch it. And what we're doing is trying to archive it, and we're trying to make sure that work doesn't disappear. If you publish a book, it gets, kind of archived in the National Library, and we're trying to be that for spoken word. So that's why we're filming tonight. We're filming all of our shows and have done for years. So if this is your first taste and you want to find more, please come and talk to us. We have a mailing list you can sign up to get more answers, but if you just want to come and have a chat, please do. Tell a poet you like their stuff. We are fueled by validation. It is so fucking tasty. So please, go and let a poet know. And if you want to know where you can see more of their work, where they're putting on shows, or whether they're releasing a book or anything like that, you can go and talk to them. It would mean a lot to us if the first place you saw spoken word was one of our shows, and it started a journey for you to go and see more. That would be very, very fucking cool. If you want to do your own, if you're like, I'm gonna write a poem, then please come along to our open mic. We run an open mic every second Monday at Canonsgate. A lot of the people that are some of the people on this stage, we first saw at our open mic, and they've kind of progressed through there, and they've honed their skills, and they've done so much beautiful writing, and seeing them flourish and take part in slams or write their own shows or get feature spots at festivals and things like that is so cool. So please come and get involved in the spoken word scene, because it's pretty good. Thank you, Bex. Cool. So as I was saying, the spoken word scene is just the note is for me. No, I will jump in. But yes, amazing second round. But only 3 can go through, and they will be reading in this order. And we will do 1 cheer at the end of the list. I want it perfect, Edinburgh. And that was from the judges' corner. This is fucked. Okay, so you know what? Fuck it. You can cheer each individual one. Up first in the third round will be Akshay! Followed by Drew Gale! The power. And our third finalist is Heather Rose! Again, I think if it had been the other 3 names I read out there, the response would have been the same. It would still have made for a kick-ass final round. I promise you, it is fractions of points that separate the difference. I know last year when I was looking at score sheets, there was literally 2 points between the person in 12th and the person in 6th. It's, there can be that tight a margin, and I know it will be there. Hey, guys, are you ready for the final round? Then please help me welcome back to the stage the love of my life, Akshay!
Thank you. Wasn't I just here? A history of touch. A touch is a product of mathematics, chance, numbers. But let's begin somewhere else, out in the cosmos of probability, somewhere along the string of time. There is one point that touches nothing. And then a stranger walks into your bus. And of all the empty seats in the bus, he picks the seat next to you. Your shoulders touch. Touches of accident, elemental touches, a touch of the last showers of monsoon and the first snows of winter, sunlight, photons traveling, making their way across eons just to fall through an open window onto your skin. Touches are a product of mathematics, chance, numbers. Touching the untouchable, hearts, distances, the water in your mouth, licking your lips, touching yourself. Touching mud, the dirt in the nooks of your fingernails. Generous touches given without question, touches that you beg for, touches that cannot be rubbed off, and touches that leave you wanting more. Touch is a product of mathematics, chance, numbers. The moments before a touch and the moments after. The moments before your lips meet and the moments after. The moments before a bomb touches a rooftop and the moments after. Apologetic touches, possessive touches, tender touches like a palm on your cheek, hurtful touches like a palm on your cheek. Touch is a product of mathematics, chance, numbers. Mechanical touches, repeated like a prayer, memorized touches, touches of routine, typing with your eyes closed, finding your way to bed in the dark, the sweet touch of sleep against the cold side of your pillow. Drifting off into nothing. And now we are here. In your dream, you are a point in space-time waiting for a man to get onto your bus. Imagine he does. It's your fucking dream. Imagine he sits next to you. Imagine your shoulders touch. Imagine you take him home. He touches your hair, your face, arms, waist, the small of your back. What are the chances of that? The Schrodinger's touch. A touch and a lack thereof. The absence of touch. Touch depraved. Touch starved. Yearning for touch, crying, screaming into the void for touch. But touch is a product of mathematics, chance, numbers. Because one day, the Turkish man at the barber shop, he takes off your glasses. He runs his fingers through your hair and touches the rear of your earlobe where nobody else has ever touched you. What are the odds of that?
The next poet to the stage is our penultimate poet in the third round. Please put your hands together, give all the energy, make all the noise as we welcome back the wonderful Drew Gale!
I haven't seen the sun for long enough that what's left of my skin would singe at the edges, crust and charcoal my bones still wet and hard. Is that what you think of when you stare down at puzzle piece floorboards? How you let a viper's tongue tangle in your guts and opened your mouth like an ocean and let my ship fall in wet and hard. And soft like your candlelit wish, and hot like the poison I huffed from the lips of an angel who nearly fell for me. Does it bother her there are certain distances she can't reach? The same way it disemboweled me when you heard me scream and sob hard and wet and hard and buried me anyway. You let a viper's tongue tangle in your guts, pull your ribs together like a shark's teeth shut, and I lie beneath your floor. Can she even hear me down here? Or is the washing machine still running? Now I lie on the cement like a bird when it discovers glass is a goodbye gift from the world, and I hear the rain pelting down outside, wet and hard, wet and hard, wet, and so hard that floodwater begins to lift me from the surface of my domestic coffin. It stings every open nerve you laid bare, and my chest presses up against a wet patch on your floor. Now my heart begins to beat. With every pump of blood and flood, I rattle the floor and it dampens like shore. I splinter the foundation piece by piece. If you won't mourn his creation, I'll break your peace. My heart beats through the floor. Had my eyes not rotted away long ago, I'd see you didn't stay an angel. It was written you'd fall. Every beautiful body must rot to feed the earth. I'm carried outside through your window while she wonders how her godly man could leave a corpse so gored. But blessed be God's unfortunate creatures, for I am reborn far away with a memory of pain, the knowledge that it will not stay buried, and a chance at peace far too great for heaven.
We have come to our final poet. Good response. But why? But that does mean we have one more poet. And since it's the last one, I want you to give every drop of energy you have left. Raise the fucking roof for the spectacular Heather Rose!
I wrapped you around me and convinced myself your love held me together. If it was tight enough to cut off my blood flow, for you I was willing to entirely explode. I wore you on my chest. I wore you on my wrist. I wore you every morning. I wore you in every kiss. I wore you when I was working. I wore you at fancy dinners. I wore you when I wore nothing else. I wore you on my fingers so you'd linger on everything I touched. What seems to really fascinate me is implementing accessories into the foundation of my relationship. Sail for miles to reunite lovers. I bought us bracelets to think of each other. The colors never faded in the shine of the summer. Your heat embedded in it in the winter kept me warmer. Then the moment when our connection resorted exclusively to bracelets. I never picked up scissors, no woeful attempt to just erase it. I wore you across oceans, I wore you in new beginnings, but don't mistake this for devotion. Respect prevented thinning, prevented fraying, but challenged saying who this linked me to. The response was something new, not you, but a ghost of us, because even ghosts lived fruitful lives, and I could not kill us twice. It seems your jewelry had less to say, because just like that, you cut me away. Was the threading not laced with our happier days, or were the colors reminiscent of your pain? Contained in that piece was love enough, but you took the fucking thing off. So yes, I'm bitter about the bracelet. Daily morning tying time trickles away wasted. I noticed though that you didn't replace it. Lonely remains as an empty space. It seems sadder than finding a new sparkle. I'm sadder now for not being impartial. A bracelet, handcuff on my wrist, a self-appointed house arrest. Guilty as charged, I do attest for imposing and emoting all over my jewelry when I realized I had lost it, that empty space, an empty free. There are always stings when things are severed, but the ribbon does not cry when tying presents. You presented me with a gift too, the bittersweet release from you.
Damn. That was fucking amazing. Yes, run, Bex. Flee from the responsibilities. No, Bex is going to go tally up the scores. Can we just get one big round of applause for our 3 finalists? That's fucking wild. I fucking love slams. They really are. They're an amazing thing. And it's the thing I love about slams in Scotland specifically is if you look at the tradition of slams in North America, they've created this very like homogenized style of poetry. And the thing I love so much about slams, not just in Scotland, kind of across the UK, is that it hasn't done that. You see poets of all different styles, all different subject matters and stuff win slams. And I know by the time we get to the final in August, it will be a bizarre array of different styles and different backgrounds and different voices, and like that is just such a wonderful thing. And I think so much the spectacular thing about spoken word and about slam poetry. So yes, please come and join us in August. If you want to keep up to date with when all that stuff is, like I said, you can jump on the internet and use Google, because you're people living in the future. You know how. So yes, I'll do a poem. Waiting here if it's no. I went to see Paul Weller with my dad this week down in York, which was a lot of fun. And I love my dad so much. It was a bit of a wild child in his youth, and it was nice because it reminded me. He was telling me lots of stories about when he was first seeing the Jam and stuff like that. And I have this poem. Basically, when I was about 17, he got so tired of me and my friends, he like left. He just gave us the house and moved in with his girlfriend. Went, fucking pay rent and just leave me alone. And we destroyed his house. It was like living like students, but none of us were students. So there was no distraction from living like students. It was constant. It's fucking horrible. We took thousands of pounds off the resale value of that building. And he had this in the house. There was a sort of hexagonal table, wooden table with a pane of glass. And I vividly remember one day sort of careering through it as I tried to put a Yoda poster up on the wall. And this poem is kind of about that period of time. You know, where you're a kind of fucking incompetent, useless young person, as we all have been, or are. And like the only way you survive is by coupling yourselves up with 4 or 5 other incompetent young people, becoming kind of one living organism. One person with 4 times the mess. Yeah, this is about that. The coffee table has no glass. It is an empty frame in need of replacing, but we don't. It sits there for months, and every day someone places the ashtray on the ghost of the pain. Gut drop in slow motion, a room full of smirking faces, gleefully providing no warning. No cracking, crashing smash, just a poof, cloud of ash, and the seldom practiced task of hoovering. We had hoped the unopened letters piled high in its center would rise high enough to provide old wood new purpose, a stamp-addressed surface. Spilled drinks would run red ink into black. I remember that balancing act. Moments before my landing, thumbs pressing on tacks only for gravity to push back. Sound of my landing, swallowed by the laugh. Only a few scrapes, no scars that would last. But I bet they're still picking glass out the carpet. And yes, it would have been easier to simply discard it, but when do you stop sweeping once you've started? Honestly, not everything broken should be treated so harshly. So we rested, chipped mugs, tea-stained on the edge of the frame. Broken shards, slowly pulling themselves together again. So I felt bad about the table for a long time. After spending the night in a hotel room with my 66-year-old father, pissed and fucking high off the buzz at Paul Weller, I feel less bad about it. Because my dad can drink till 3 a.m., but a life of work still makes him get up at 7 a.m. And then that's your problem. And I am a freelance artist. 7 a.m. is yesterday as far as I'm concerned. It was an unpleasant train journey home. I'm fucking nodding off. Are you tired? I'm fucking tired. Anyway, what was I saying about therapy sessions? I know what it says on the paper. I fear that Oscars moment where I like say a name and then I just see Bex going. So I'm going to read out second place and first place. And that is because both of them qualify for the Grand Slam final. So that's why I'm just reading out second place and first place. First place wins £200 for winning the regional heat, which we will not be giving you in cash because I just told everyone you're receiving it. Here's £200, safe trip home. In this economy, fucking Hungry Arts organizations stalking you back. No, invoice. And then, yes, the runner-up will qualify with them for the Grand Slam final in August. So, in second place, a little drum roll, please. Qualifying for the Grand Slam final, your Central Heat runner-up. Make some noise for Akshay! May have came second, but he won my heart. It's funny, Katie closed captions these shows. My partner. We're going to have a conversation. Worth it. Akshay's never coming to one of our gigs again. Oh yeah, he's qualified for the final. He has to. Thanks, judges. Enough. I say like you're doing it. Drum roll, please. Your Loud Poets, Central Heat champion, moving on to the Grand Slam final and holding aloft the Loud Poets Championship belt. Please go fucking mental for Heather Rose! The belt is bigger than her. And that's what I wanted. Yes, amazing work, Heather. Amazing work. Drew and Akshay are 3 finalists. And amazing work to all of our fucking slammers. Yeah, that was a bit good. That's probably good. Can I just get a huge round of applause for the arduous task of judging? It's the thankless thing. Can we just get a big round of applause for Bex, Claire, and Georgia? An extra round of applause for Georgia, our spectacular sacrificial poet. Make some noise for the man in the booth, Roddy! A huge round of applause for the Storytelling Centre, our home. We love it here. one last final massive roof raving cruising go fucking mental for your poets this evening. We hope you follow the rest of the Slam series. We hope if you are based in the Central Belt, these are your champions, your two finalists who are going to be joining Donna Matthew and Chris Boyland, who won the East Heats in the Grand Slam final. Please give them your support. Come along in August. Keep up to date with what we're doing. We are going to be back here at the Storytelling Centre with shows in May and June and July, and then with a Fringe run with Best of Fringe here at the Storytelling Centre. And we are also teaming up with the beautiful people at Tinderbox to do some amazing stuff during Fringe. If you want to hear about all of that and what we're doing, please sign up to the mailing list. I promise we send you like a couple emails with just things that you're looking to know. I fucking hate mailing lists too, all right? We're not taking the piss. But it's a great way to stay up to date. We really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this, if you've come along tonight and it's the first time you've seen something like this, please go again. I know we make jokes about it, but the art scene in Scotland needs the support of people like yourselves who are willing to buy a ticket and come along, because it's a bit of a perilous fucking time at the moment, and there are lots of really, really good arts organisations who are struggling. We just heard today that Page to Stage didn't get their funding for a new season. And that is heartbreaking. The work those guys are doing is fucking amazing, and they deserve that funding. And the reason it's not going to them is not because they don't deserve it. It's because there isn't enough. There isn't enough for the incredible work that's going on. We saw I Write Festival not get. We've seen countless organizations who don't have that profile not get the funds that they fucking deserve. And we know what it's like to be told no and to have to make the best of it. There is so many talented artists in this country who you don't hear about on the TV programs or in the papers, and they're doing absolutely vital work. So please continue to support them. Spoken word needs it in a big way. So whether it's this, your local open mic, buying a book, jumping on Facebook and liking a poet's page, doing a tweet about a show you enjoyed, encouraging a pal to come with you next time, please do that, because it's the only way you get an art. It means a lot. So yeah, thank you for coming tonight. This has been the Loud Poets Central Heat Slam. I have been Kevin Mclean. We will see you again next time. Good night.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.